zoomed out ADA chart. We're going to talk about that in this video, and we're also going to talk about what this June 2020 timeframe has to do with the current timeframe and my mental sentiment in regards to Cardano. Everybody, I want to lay the groundwork here. This isn't financial advice. This is my opinion. And actually, to talk about that opinion, I want to kind of set the tone going back to this tweet that I tweeted the other day. I'm starting to get the same Cardano vibes I had when I first started really covering ADA, when I discovered how insanely undervalued it was. And this is when my opinion started to kind of go public in terms of Cardano. It started to go public in terms of the value, or I should say how undervalued ADA was at the time. And here we are again, and I think we're entering this similar kind of vibe. And for context to that, here's the video, June 6, 2020, one of my earliest ADA videos. I'm not being paid to shill Cardano. Me and my friend have been really looking at altcoins lately. It's been fun, and I just want to share this journey with you because there's a lot of upside potential, but there's insane amount of risk. That was June 2020. If we go to that Cardano chart, that's all the way back here. Now, Cardano ADA right around 8 cents, you could say, and the risk was high. And this was off the back of kind of this huge bear market and just sideways trading. And we know what happened next. And now here we are. We've entered the bear market. The Band-Aid has been ripped off. And I want to discuss kind of where we are at this very given time. And I want to do it from a couple different perspectives. We're actually going to even zoom in on this chart. And I want to first start with kind of this more bullish perspective. And this tweet, this is from Ben over at BitBoy Crypto. I officially now believe that Cardano will eventually pass Ethereum in market cap and users. It won't be soon, but ironically, the slow roadmap for full ETH 2.0 rollout will be the Achilles heel. Timeline 6 to 10 years. This is what I've been saying. I love seeing tweets like this from Ben and just other content creators in this space, because this is the deal. And he just did a video on this too. And it's not trying to throw Ethereum under the bus, but over the years, Cardano has been kind of tagged as this crypto that is so behind, that's not doing anything. But they've been building the infrastructure so that when the time is right, they could actually be ahead of the game. And that shift in that happening is what we're slowly beginning to see. And with Ethereum recently going to proof of stake from proof of work, now people are really starting to understand, okay, Ethereum still has so many issues that are not resolved even after all of this wait for proof of stake. And that scalability issue is a really big factor. And Cardano making moves as we sit here, actually, and we track these charts, making move post Vassal hard fork and in that Basho era. So here we are tackling those scalability issues. And in terms of that, this is one aspect. This is one perspective of what's coming to Cardano, right? It's not only, Vassal hard fork. Now we start working on scalability. We start seeing it. Well, there's so many different facets to that. And this is Sunday Swap over here on Twitter, tweeting the other day. Today, our team is excited to demo something we've been hard at work on for months. Sunday Swap on Hydra. While a ways out, this is an important milestone in not just our scaling journey, but Cardano's as well. We'll provide detail later, but in the meantime, check out the video, and there's the video of or from Sunday Swaps in regards to Hydra. And this was for context, and just to really sum this up very simply for you, this is Lucid over on Twitter. He tweeted, Sunday Swap demonstrated how far along they have come using Hydra technology on Cardano. They're the first Cardano dApp to show this level of progress. 1,000 transactions per second per Hydra head with Cardano's high level of security. With just 10 Hydra heads running, that's 10,000 transactions per second on Cardano. Now, here's a question. Each Hydra head essentially could be a stake pool, right? So if there's over 3,000 stake pools, how many transactions per second could Cardano scale to? I mean, 10,000 transactions per second is phenomenal, but we're talking millions, everybody. There's over 3,000 nodes. And so, and each can be a Hydra head. So this is what's on the horizon here for ADA. And these are the things that many people have known, and the research that's going into all of these things, like Hydra, for instance. Many people have known these things, but now that we're starting to see this, we're going to start seeing a shift in sentiment, I believe, across the industry, and Cardano setting up on this chart, I think, from a value perspective as being one of the greatest opportunities in crypto. Because pivoting back to, yeah, I started covering it in June 2020, we weren't really talking about any of these things. Now here we are, and we've seen staking mechanism come into play, hard fork, or the Merry hard fork and the multi-asset ledger, Alonzo and smart contracts, and most recently Vassal. So all of this has happened. And check this out. From when I did the video in June 2020 talking about the opportunity in Cardano, yeah, you know what? It's fine. We hit the bull market. We just saw ridiculous gains, and maybe some of you missed out on that. You know, we can't just pick all of the winners. I missed out on a ton of altcoins that rallied in the last bull market. But it's kind of like from a macro zoomed out perspective, if you start getting some better, I guess, context to the story of that crypto, you realize one thing. This is kind of just the beginning. And it's crazy to say that just based off of this alone, from 8 cents back in June 2020, Cardano ADA saw 3,500% gains. 3,500% gains. It's very hard to say after crashing from those gains, this is just the beginning, but really it's true. This is an early stage technology, not just Cardano, but crypto in general. The trillions of dollars of assets have not even come into this space. And we're waiting for that. And so as something like Cardano is tackling these scaling and positioning itself to truly be a decentralized, secure, scalable blockchain, as trillions get ready to come in, it couldn't be positioned any better. But here's the thing, the Band-Aid has been pulled off. And this is where we start kind of digging in a little deeper to the data. I asked at the beginning of the video, what does S&P 500 have to do with a Bitcoin chart, and what does a Bitcoin chart have to do with ADA? Because if you're kind of in this journey now and you're trying to track along and you're trying to figure out, well, what's next? You know, it sounds fine, we're early, you know, whatever, but like what's next with price? Because we're in a bear market and price is down like 80% in crypto in general. Well, here's the deal. It starts here. It's S&P 500 and it's traditional markets. And right now, this is my view, and this is definitely obviously not fact. I'm just a guy out here in crypto trying to find my way as well in my approach to crypto, just like you. And I just don't think the bottom is in yet, right? So the S&P 500 chart, and we've been tracking this for months, talking about, well, is the 200-week moving average going to be kind of broken? Will there be support? Interesting, so far, there's actually been support on the S&P 500 200-week moving average. Now, right now, we're in a green week. The question for me on the more zoomed in is, well, here's this 20-week moving average coming down. This chart has already seen resistance at the 50-week moving average. So this 20-week moving average, there seems to be just some room for a nice rally in the middle of this bear market, right? So for S&P 500, we can be looking at a 5% nice rally, and even up to the 50-week moving average, right? So 5% to the 20-week, and then we have to the 50-week, another 10 to 15%. And if that's happening, and we're seeing some green days on the S&P 500, then guess what? Crypto, we're seeing some green days there. And we've been tracking Bitcoin. For Bitcoin offers a roadmap. And this chart, I follow it in such seriousness as it pertains to my altcoin portfolio, because this is kind of how I make my macro decisions. It's this chart, because Bitcoin has the most macro data, it has the most historical data, and it also has the context of these halvings. And this chart and the way it's played out over the years in these cycles has been so consistent, you just cannot ignore it. It doesn't even matter if you own Bitcoin or not. So here we are. If S&P 500 is going to rally in the short term, we have these moving averages above Bitcoin as well. 200-week moving average up to 23,000. 20-week moving average just above, right around 21,000. So there's a case for a breakout for Bitcoin, this rally. But what resistance is there, especially as the 50-week moving average pulls down into Bitcoin? What lower high resistance is there? There's so much in a shorter term rally for Bitcoin to finally make another move to the downside, to finally put in the bottom of this bear market. Everybody, long story short, what I'm trying to say is I don't think the bear market is over yet. But right now, I really truly think the Band-Aid has been ripped off in terms of the worst part being over. Let's go to an ADA chart on the weekly. If you just look at this last bear market and that last bear market cycle, look how ugly that is, right? And let's actually take the bars pattern to mimic that ugliness all the way to the low. And let's plot it over here and let's stretch it down to kind of give us an idea of where we are. And just look, this is the entire bear market, this purple bars pattern that I have. That's the entire bear market in that last cycle. Now, it's not going to be the same. That's not my point here. But what I am saying is if you stretch it, you can start seeing that Cardano really is kind of getting close to just a full bear market cycle. And when that happens, it's not to say, we're in a June 2020 environment right then, right? This is June 2020. We know the bull market doors for Bitcoin kind of broke open right around here. So at this time, ADA is very close to the bull market doors. Maybe we're not that close, but at the same time, where would you rather be? Close to the bull market doors in June 2020 or kind of close to the bottom of a bear market? Where is the best opportunity? The answer is close to the bottom of a bear market. Now, there's no guarantee that the bottom isn't in and that Cardano is going to go lower, but there's a good likelihood, a strong chance, I would say, that ADA does kind of see one more capitulation with the rest of crypto in an environment where S&P 500 doing the same. But I can't stress enough. I mean, I look back and I think back about tweets like this, and it's kind of like I'm starting to get those same vibes, and I really am. And when I start getting those vibes, my eyes kind of start to perk up for just mass opportunity and mass momentum coming out of the bear market. And that's not to say that I'm sitting here saying we're coming out of the bear market. You all know, I think there's probably one more leg down. I could be very wrong. I think there's one more leg down. But the fact that we're getting so close to that type of environment where we're exiting a bear market and things are starting to turn around, now is the time to prepare because time is running out. I feel like I just did that June 2020 video, and we've already gone through entering the bull market, 3,500% gains all the way back down. We're like a year past that all-time high for Cardano. So time goes by very quickly. So while it seems like, man, we still have the rest of this bear market, I don't even know. No, it's going to go by quick. I really think it is. At least that's my impression of the markets over the years. As long as I've been doing this, I've been doing these YouTube channels, tracking these charts almost daily for almost 5 years. And so those are just my thoughts. And by the way, if you look at this ADA chart from that June 2020 area, 3,500%, right? Without all of these fundamentals in play. And ADA has completely consolidated all the way back down to now only being around just over 300% from when 300% higher. That's it from when I did this June 2020 video. So it goes to just show you how early we really are. It's almost like we're almost as early as back in June of 2020 with all of these fundamentals in play with things like Sunday Swap. Sunday Swap wasn't here back in 2020 when I was doing that video. And now this is a leading DEX on Cardano demoing Hydra. Like this is big in my opinion. So as a value investor, I'm paying attention on the short term. We talked about kind of a Bitcoin rally. Well, here's ADA on the short-term charts. We've broken down. We know and we talk about so often, and this is where I am right now in the shorter term, just this pullback. This is potentially what could happen. This is what I'm anticipating, a pullback to this entire area. 50-day moving average right around 45 cents, 20-day moving average around 40 cents. We've got this lower trend line. So, and we got just the apex in general, complement with that, this longer term yellow trend line that goes back to all the way back to 2018. So you zoom out on this chart, that yellow trend line just going all the way back. So all of those things in play for an ADA rally, that's what I'm watching for. And that would be off the back of traditional markets, S&P 500, actually picking up some steam in the shorter term. So we're definitely going to track that. Everybody, those are my thoughts on everything going on with Cardano. You might have noticed the new background. I had to do it. And actually, you can see how I spent my weekend right there. I just had to update it. I wasn't feeling the old vibes. So I kind of brought back the new vibes, a little bit different. We've got another camera angle and a little bit different vibes, but kind of the same. And I'm just feeling it. I just feel really comfortable here. So with this new studio background, and it's just more my vibes. It's more my speed, and hope you guys like it. If you do like it, if you're still here,